Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Great Eastern Chronicles. Last time we were investigating in Mr. Natsume's lodging building, and someone is dead. I'm not sure they were murdered. And it seems like Mr. Natsume was there with the dead person. So we gotta find out what happened. I don't think we're gonna find out tonight, but we're gonna investigate. Okay. Oh, I remember now. We were going to go see the Gyrdebs. But maybe we could have a look at the road first. (21st of February) via road. Is there anything special to see? Oh yeah, there's the soap over there. With the exception of the top floor, where Mr. and Mrs. Gyrdeb live, all the windows are bricked up. Oh yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows the property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows. But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again surely. Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done. Oh yes, that is a sad state of affairs. Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation. It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that. Oh, this bike is still here. Is it meaningful? There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Gyrdeb residence. Well, with the shape of that wheel, it's not gonna go anywhere. Oh, I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact. That one seems very warped though, especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think? No, I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly afflicted. Oh then, there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on his bicycle, I think. What? Oh dear, I fear you may be right. Why do they... Come on now. So yeah, there's a soap over there. London's blanketed in fog again today, and the sky is covered in clouds. Is it the fog or clouds? The tower is still being built over there. But if you look carefully in the distance, we can just make out the crystal tower being built. Yeah, exactly. Ah, the crystal tower, yes. The centerpiece of the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Wait, did they really have this tower? I mean, it's kind of weird because I watched I forgot Violet Evergarden, and they had such a tower as well. But isn't it supposed to be the Eiffel Tower? Or did London have one? I don't know. Everyone's talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems. Oh well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. I can't wait for it myself. Do you think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry? The last great exhibition was held in London. That was held in London had more than 6 million visitors, it seems. And this time, the British are determined to make it an even bigger success, to outdo the Paris exposition. Oh, okay, so the Paris one already happened, so the Eiffel Tower must already exist. I don't know. I don't remember when it was built. I see. That's an incredible number of people. I didn't know there were so many people in London. And with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed. What? You want to... There's always the honest approach of buying tickets at the main entrance. Naruto-san. Oh, there's still this snowman. Why has somebody built this snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think? That's not a pedestal, Naruto-san. That's part of the snowman's body. Really? But it already has a perfectly good body. Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner. Oh, and now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels. Oh, if anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? Wait, what? The British snowmen are only 2 balls? And the Japanese as well? Oh, they have a lot in common. After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs. Oh, do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? I don't think there's anything to look at here. It's all, oh, the door. The Gaidab household and Mr. Natsume's lodgings are in a prominent position here, there, on the corner. Sometimes, when I look at the building, I can't help feeling that it's at a bit of a slant. Well, I think you're right. It does rather look like as though it would collapse in even the smallest earthquake, doesn't it? Oh, and isn't it supposed to be haunted as well? I think I might have a hunch as to why Sasaki-san has such a hunched back. I mean the hunchback of Briar Road? Or Strand Street? Okay, it's time to go see the Gaidabs. Do you know? I don't believe we visited this place for some time. Okay. "21st of February. The Gaidabs room. They still haven't repaired anything. The damage caused by the fire. Here we are again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode. We're here because Mr. Gaidab's the one who discovered the incident this morning. Don't forget." "Ah, you chaps, eh?" Yes. Good morning, sir." "Oh, thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday." "Oh, it was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Gaidabs as anyone, really." "Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday." didn't expect to wake up to more barley nonsense this morning. Oh, I wonder if you don't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Gaitap. Oh yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor's chap in the ground floor room. Oh, those were exactly Inspector Grigson's words, weren't they? Oh, okay. I don't think... Well, I'm not going to examine everything. This morning incident. Oh, it must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what had happened. Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. About 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but to no bally answer. Oh, and that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door? Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour. Oh, that's very true, Naruto-san. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door I'd have to kick your door down every morning. Wow, well, you don't have to mention that. You know, better to be safe than sorry and all that. Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? Oh, except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door. The victim's name is Mr. Shakespeare, I believe. Is that right? Yes, William Shakespeare. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now. And how would you describe him? In a word, destitute. Destitute? Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has the boldest screw loose. So hard to choose which category Sosuke-san would fall into. Naruto-san, that's a little rude. Hey! It's also rude to read my mind. He was doing research as well. Research? To what? Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare! What? Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet, and all that. Oh yeah, you read them all. Oh yes. William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know. And many of his works have already been translated. Sao? Sao? What? That's... It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Somehow was too heavy-handed there. There were lots of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there? Wait, what does it have to do with anything? Of course, Natsume-san is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shakespeare would have had much in common. Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Oh, let's hope it's not that. Naruto-san, really? How rude. Hey, you're still reading my mind. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe. Didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well now, it must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed-act chap was out at the time. Oh. Mr. Garrett noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shakespeare got back. The chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. How does he know? Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep back then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Oh well, thank you. That was very illuminating. What is it? Soto-san. Is everything alright? Soto-san? Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garidab, you were up here in your room all evening, as I've understood correctly. Not a big fan of stairs. Not with this blasted leg. Oh then, how is it that you seem to know the precise movement of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean? Oh! Oh, that's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noise from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? I say, I know what you're thinking. It's a bally outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I? Then how did you know, Mr. Garidab? It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? Speaking gas? What? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything? Let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yeah. I'd more or less worked that out. Oh, every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps there. What do you suppose would happen? This gas lamp. Oh well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly. But at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They're dim? Why? Oh, perhaps it's because When you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily. Mightn't it? Mightn't it? Wait, is that something that people say? Mightn't it? They might. Mightn't it? Mightn't they? Oh yes, of course. Because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. Is that supposed to happen though? Oh, it sounds rather undesirable.
Jolly good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipe in these parts are pretty hopeless. Wrong word out. And barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguishing the lamps up here and the glow brighter in the rest of the house.
Ah, right. I see. So, by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. Wow. Yes, you know, Naruto-san is a bright one.
You've got it.
Oh, of course. Because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out the lamps and fires. Clever.
In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it uses a slightly different amount of gas. By watching the light in here closely, you can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Gaideb. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh well, nothing to it really.
Oh, and I can really see that it's going to help us with the case. Oh, I can't really see that is going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Gaideb is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. We can't ask him any more questions. But we can examine what's going on here. Wait, is there a gas lamp anywhere here? We know what that screen is hiding now. The aftermath of the fear altercation the other day.
Don't suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for some time now.
Oh dear, this must be a very difficult situation for you.
I say, people talk about twists and fate and whatnot. But this is a twist and a half. A rotten show all round.
He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened. Wait, there's no gas lamp. How can I establish that there isn't any gas lamp over here? Ah, yes. Those enormous mortar shells. It's quite something seeing them up close, isn't it? Didn't you say something about firing them into the barracks, Mr. Gaideb?
Ah, you remember, do you? Just a little mishap that occurred during training one day. What are you doing firing on your own men? The captain bellowed at me.
Oh, I'm not surprised. a little mishap doesn't really do it justice, does it?
Well, one has these little incidents when one's a hot-headed young private.
Oh, perhaps I should put some evidence that resulted from one of my little mishaps on display. Oh, does the great lawyer, like the great detective, want to exhibit some trophies of his finest moments? I don't think there is a... we can... find it a bit annoying, because there are no gas lamps. Maybe there's one behind that, though. I think I have to go somewhere else. Do you know what that is? Mr. Guide, could I show you this?
Oh, been quite a couple of days, as you can imagine. I'm afraid I'm rather tired. Haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you.
Some other time then. What about that? No? Can I show? No. I can't present him anything. Okay. Alright, let's move then. To the prison. The prison cell where the defendant, Mr. Sasuke Natsume, is being held. He's spending so much time in it, he'd have to start calling the place home soon. Oh, damn. (21st of February). Local prison. Cell 9? Where is he? What? He's not here. You have anything to do? I don't know. 21st of February. Sholmes Suite. Nobody here? Oh, Iris is here. Iris? That's incredible concentration, that is. Oh, I find it quite remarkable how she can focus on so many different things at once. Oh, perhaps I should try drinking more herbal tea. The blend third from the right would be good for you, Bruno. Oh, Iris? Oh, this girl is destined for great things, I'm sure. Okay, we can't talk to Iris right now. Ah yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? So, what's at the blackboard today? Backup Bruno? What is this? Oh, I'm just playing around with ideas for the title of next month's installment. Another idea I had was the bell coronet. I'm really torn about which one to use. What do you think, Bruno? Oh, anything but backup Bruno, obviously. Oh, I suppose you're right. I'll tell you what. I'll surprise you with it. You'll have to wait until next month and see. So many sleepless nights. I don't think there's anything interesting over here. I don't understand. Where do we have to go? I can't go to the thing. The prison does nobody. Miss Green? Anything I haven't seen here? I don't think. No. What? We've seen everything here. Maybe we really have to examine everything here. I don't know. Oh, that's your military uniform, isn't it, Mr. Gaidab?
Well, ceremonial garb, yes. Been hanging on the wall ever since my retirement bash. Not in active service now, you know. Don't mean much to me anymore. You could have the old thing if you wanted it.
Oh well, it might suit Lord Van Zeeks, perhaps. An overly ostentatious outfit like this could be just what he needs. Oh, very tactful, Sato-san. Very tactful indeed. The cannon? There's a single apron drying on that enormous cannon-shaped clothes horse. Look. No, Naruto-san. That's a real cannon. I knew that. I was just testing you.
Piece of history, that is. Seen plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell you. Plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell you. Now the old girl and I are just enjoying the peace and quiet of requirement together. And of course, shit come in handy if the enemy decided to launch an attack again.
Is there a war going on that I didn't know about? What are books? Oh, a copy of Ren's magazine. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful?
Naturally, no one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. But having met the chap, it's undeniable. He is most certainly singular. Singularly dangerous.
Oh, that's genuine public opinion for you, Sato-san. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories? Oh, make no mistake, Naruto-san. I intend to snuff out the sort of public opinion we just heard, personally. Oh, I'm starting to see where Mr. Sholmes' untainted reputation comes from now. The lion statue, the medal. Good to see Mr. Gaida's Medal of Honor is still proudly displayed on the wall. Ah, the inscription reads, "For distinguished participation," if you remember. Oh yes, I remember, because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that.
Wouldn't know it to look at me now, perhaps, but I had my devil-may-care days, you know.
Devil-may-care? What did you get up to?
Well, all in the past now, of course, and best left there.
Oh, best not. I want to know now. Oh, you look very dashing in your uniform there, Mr. Gaidab.
Ah, that old portrait, eh? joined by an art student who used to rent the room downstairs.
Oh, you look so wonderfully young and courageous. Strong.
Yes, well, the chap presented it to me one day and asked if I'd let him off the month's rent in return.
Oh, I see. So, you did, presumably?
I bloody well did not.
Okay. Oh,
A portrait is a portrait, but rent is rent. Eh?
and yet, it's still there, probably on the wall. Maybe we have a look out the window. Oh, there's a good view of the wintry east and from up here, wintry. It's an oppressively grey scene. There's really nothing comparable in Japan. And down below, Briar Road, partly blanketed in snow. Oh, and the pavement there where poor Miss Green was struck in the back by that knife. Thinking about it, this is the only room in this building that actually has a window to the outside world. Sometimes, Great Britain really does seem like a strange land, doesn't it? I suppose all foreign cultures seems very strange at first. Imagine how an Englishman would feel on arriving in Japan and seeing people with a chanmage top knot. Well, that's a good point. Oh, sorry. Oh, these shelves look like they've been completely torn apart by a wild beast.
Reminds me of the Battle of Mayland, but you know?
Ah, the experiences of a seasoned veteran.
Enemy had us surrounded on all sides. We really thought we were done for, the whole bloody company. We were taking a real pounding from the cannons, so all we could do was run for our lives.
Oh. I thought the story was going in a different direction, actually.
Well, the whole experience taught me one thing, I can tell you. When you're done for, you're really done for.
Wait, what? Wait, what? That's another lawyer who often finds himself under fire wants to hear. The cakes are still there. That's an impressive collection of cakes and that fancy silver cakes down there. I feel sure that it was full of cakes when we first investigated in here as well.
Yes, quite right. Haven't touched it since. Haven't done much at all, really, since it all happened. Times rather stood still. Since it all happened, times rather stood still for me, you know.
Oh. Oh, time has stood still? No, that's an interesting phrase. I might be able to use that excuse when I'm next supposed to be tidying the office. Oh, you could just tidy up. Naruhodo-san. She's reading my mind all the time. There's nothing else to see. I've seen everything. I don't know what to do. Oh, he doesn't want to see anything. Okay. Well, then I don't know. I've been everywhere. What about the prison? There's no one here. What am I missing? I've examined everything here, I think. Shakespeare's room, we've seen everything. This green hospital bed, there's only Sean's suite now. I don't know what I can find here. It's curious how this enormous metal chest is being used as a coffee table. And even more curious to think that Iris's father's notes about Mrs. Sholmes' case are inside it. Oh, you mustn't look in there, Bruno. Those notes are a secret between Daddy and me. Oh, and Mrs. Sholmes is somehow in on the secret? Howley tends to forget, you see? As soon as he solved the case, in fact. Once, when he read one of my manuscripts, we had a terrible argument about it. Never have I solved such a case, he said. He was absolutely adamant. Oh, sometimes I wonder if he's from another planet, don't you? Look at all these mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases. You know, Suto-san's eyes still sparkle every time she lays eyes on them. Oh, but yours don't, do they, Runa? Well, I have read The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes now, by order of Suto-san. But the trouble is, having seen the real thing in action, somehow the stories don't quite ring true for me. Well, he does solve the cases. In the end. Oh, I suppose so. Perhaps there's more to the great detective that meets the eye. Well, I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Although, I do yearn for Japanese kotatsu. Putting your legs under a warm blanketed table is so comforting. Do be careful, Naruhodo-san. Don't mistakenly put your feet in the fire, will you? You suffer terrible burns, you know? I think I know. I worry sometimes about how Suto-san sees me. The violin? Didn't we look at the violin earlier? Oh, this is Mr. Sholmes' famous violin. The one he found being sold for a song at a pawnbrokery. What's it called again? A shawty something? Oh, yes. This wonderful instrument features in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's a world-famous Stradivarius. What? Stradivarius. Naruhodo-san. Stragivor. Are you even trying now? Oh, we'll come back to this another time, I think. There's also something on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't have feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. Oh, it looks as though it might topple, and yet it doesn't. The epitome of Mr. Sholmes' brilliance. Oh, I don't get it. As it happens, I'm quite well practiced when it comes to stacking shelves myself. Just the other day, the shelf in my office finally gave way under the strain though. Oh, it looks as though it might topple, and it does. Yes, the epitome of your disarray. Oh, I really don't get it. Disarray. The machine. Oh, this enormous machine takes up the entire desk, doesn't it? It's really very imposing. Ah, Harry's great analytoscope. Yes, it can analyze anything at all, you know. But I've never seen anyone actually using it. Well, it's his invention, so I don't know how to operate it. Why don't you get it to analyze its own operation then? Oh, Rono, you're rather sharp today, aren't you? Maybe we could use it, I don't know. It always strikes me how pretty and neatly arranged this tea set is. Oh, it's my favorite one, in fact. I think it's high time for afternoon tea. Wait there, I'll fetch a special blend that I've prepared for today. Oh, Iris, you do love your tea, don't you? She looks so happy at the prospect. And after you've drank it, I'll collect some experimental data, if that's alright. Wait, what? But what is she about to make me drink? If I remember correctly, this large and imposing lump of iron is called a typewriter. To think that every single one of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes blossomed from this very machine. Oh, it's such a dreamy thought. I actually had to go on it the other day. The metal bars that move when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow, and that made Iris angry. Naruhodo-san, you're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that again. Oh no, now I've made Sato-san angry as well. Oh, that's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles too. Oh yes, but don't touch any of those. They might explode. Wait, what? Ah, a charming shelf, full of charming bottles, full of charming ingredients. Oh, you know, Harley mistakenly drank from one of them the other day. What? And how? Oh, I think he was lucky though. He hasn't exploded yet. Wait, what? Chemistry can be a very hazardous occupation. Oh, it's living with Mr. Sholmes that's the hazardous occupation, if you ask me. Hazardous. Okay. We've seen everything. So what now? We've seen everything. We've been everywhere. And nothing happens. What's going on? We've seen everything. Why isn't there anybody at the prison? I don't understand. What's going on? We've talked about everything. We've looked at everything. I don't get it. What's going on? Wait, let me check. It's weird. I don't... Wait. The memory of clouded Kokoro. Memoirs of Okay, I have to check because it's kind of weird. The grid detection, okay. Course correction, okay. Investigation time. Okay, we found... Oh, did we forget something? But I'm pretty sure we looked at everything. It's kind of weird. We can... Okay, missed that. Ah, one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspeare and his guests drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Naruto-san. There's bitter poison inside. I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. Oh, that's true. So one was Mr. Shamspeare, and the other one must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from. But Suseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Or perhaps we should take these two, so we can examine them in more details later. The pair of teacups has been entered into the court record. Okay, so there's a red one and the green one. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Oh. Inspector Gregson. Back so soon? After I threw that little Japanese fellow in the clink, I went and reported to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, you'd better be leaving then. Oh, poor Natsume-san must be feeling very low, being back in the cell again so soon. Oh, I'm sure. Wait, what? Wait, what? We should probably go and... what? What's going on? Oh, what's wrong? Naruto-san. Look at this man! Ah! Oh, he's not dead!
Out! Out! Breathe, candle! Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets his hours upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Nobody checked if the man was dead. He's not dead. No. How's on the next part? It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed. Oh, happy day. Oh, now he's dead, is he? Wait, what? A Walking Dead! Wait, what? What was that? The fellow isn't dead at all! What was the nonsense he was saying, though? Oh, I think... Yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5. Shakespeare? So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. What? If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. What? "21st of February, Briar Road." Wait, who is this man? Whatever do you think will happen now? Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life. I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. You think? It seemed very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison as we deduced. But was it an accident? Attempted suicide? Or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this? Who is this man? What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Suzuki-san's lodgings. Oh, is something wrong? Naruto-san. Excuse me? Could we have a word? Oh. He just ran off. Is he the third brother? Skulkin brother? I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? I don't know. I do too, but I don't remember. Did we see this man before? Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Well, let's look at the teacups. I want to check the teacups. Is there anything special? This must be the cup that Mr. Shakespeare was drinking from, then.
It's stained on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Oh, tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Oh, really? I've never noticed before. Oh, you never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down.
Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it?
Oh dear. So many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture, and most of them are Japanese. Oh, this is a teacup from which Mr. Natsumi was drinking. Oh yes, unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean. I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. I always gulp it down too. Sorry, Naruhodo-san? Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly, I shall have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea. The details of the pair of teacups have been updated in the court record. There is no tea ring on the inside of Mr. Natsume's cup. Okay, probably he didn't drink tea. Okay. Is there anything interesting on that? Oh yeah. Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Ah yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an refined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rib there, the person in question must have been right-handed. How do you know? Oh, Soto-san. I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. You can never read too much of it, Naruhodo-san. Never. Hey, the red part is gone. Oh. Oh, what is it? Naruhodo-san. This bar of soap. When we first found it, I could have sworn there was some sort of round disc in this depression. Just here. A reddish one. Oh yes, you're right. I remember it too. But now, the depression is completely empty. Where could the disc have gone? The details of the bar of soap have been updated in court record. A cheap bar of soap that was discovered just outside Mr. Shamspier's window. The little reddish medallion from the center has mysteriously vanished. What? Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again. A good idea. I wonder who this guy was. Ah. 21st of February. Local prison. Cell 9. Oh look, Naruhodo-san. Natsume-san. Have the police finished questioning you now? Oh, locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? What is he? Tell me. Is he a ghost? Is he here to taunt me?
Oh, let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes?
Oh, he actually calls himself a great detective. Natsume-san, not a ghost.
But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Oh, cursed! Cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due. Naruhodo-san, you were heavily involved in the detection too.
Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news. Oh?
The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? Oh, it's terrible.
Oh.
I'm stuck in this cell, suffering from some silly wrong end of the stick. Oh, you did it, didn't you? Confess. You're a killer. Why the moustache? Constant questions. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Ah, that selfish sister. Shyster. Shyster? What's a shyster? I gotta look that up. A shyster? Oh man, how to have Merriam-Webster opened and play this game. Shyster. Person who is professionally unscrupulous, especially in the practice of law or politics. Yeah. Oh well. Oh, make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? That's true. Wickedly wishy-washy William. Oh well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspeare was never actually dead in the first place. Oh yes, that might make sense, and I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oh. Oops. Mr. Natsume? Does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspeare, didn't you? I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present. Who do you think I am? Please, Natsume-san, we need to hear your side of the story. Why am I cursed like this? What happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Natsume-san? Oh, sorry. Oh, there's nothing to tell. But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that accursed case yesterday. Oh, the case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. Oh, it's hard to believe that it was only yesterday. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening, at 9:30, must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspeare. Oh, so you did go to the victim's room then? As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong. I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time. Then,
What made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. Oh, that ties in with what Mr. Gaidap said, that the victim went out and came back after 8. And we met again later that evening, at around 9 or just after, when I took him some nice tea I'd brewed as a gift. Oh, so it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then? Oh, and I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you? Oh yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet. Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate. Oh, I'm sure. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare. Oh, and the debate became very heated. So you sipped poison into Mr. Shakespeare's tea? No, never. Not at all. Team Juliet won. That was me. And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it, categorically. Oh, did he poison himself? Like Romeo did? No, wait, who poisoned themselves in Romeo and Juliet? Juliet? I don't remember. Wait, isn't that what happens in Romeo and Juliet? Juliet thinks Romeo is dead and she kills herself. And then he wakes up and he finds her dead and he kills himself. Isn't that what happens in Romeo and Juliet? Let me check. Okay. Where's the plot? Synopsis. Okay. Okay. The messenger, however, does not reach Romeo. Oh yeah. Juliet visits Friar Lawrence for help, and he offers her a potion that will help put her into a death-like coma or catalepsy for 42 hours. The friar promises to send a messenger to inform Romeo of the plan so he can rejoin her when she awakens. On the night before the wedding, she takes the drug and, when discovered, apparently dead, she is laid in the family crypt. The messenger, however, does not reach Romeo, and instead, Romeo learns of Juliet's apparent death from his servant, Balthazar. Heartbroken, Romeo buys poison from an apothecary and goes to the Capulet crypt. He encounters Paris, who has come to mourn Juliet privately. Believing Romeo to be a vandal, Paris confronts him, and in the ensuing battles, Romeo kills Paris. Still believing Juliet to be dead, he drinks the poison. Juliet then awakens, and discovering that Romeo is dead, stabs herself with his dagger, and joins him in death. Okay, so that's exactly what happens in the play. Natsume-san, you often say the same thing about yourself. I've noticed that you have a cursed existence. Oh, I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Britain for a year now, and in that time, I've learned that there's no place for me. Oh, it can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. Oh, there are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. Oh, damn. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become such a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember, and then, 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road. But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money. It spoke to me. Oh, the rent? The rent? Obviously, that's the reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead, and no one could explain why. Oh, surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. Oh, I didn't. When the letting agent recommended this place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease, like lightning. Brave? Oh, blinkered. But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Oh gosh, was it really so awful? Horrible history. God damn it. How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me. Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you? Oh no. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the key to the place. A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? Oh, all the souls who've died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me. That really is horrible. And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shamspeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. Here I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Oh yes, you're right, I know it. That's why. I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. Oh, I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history. Ah. Ooh, Sato-san knows how to make the man listen. Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. Oh, you mean Mr. Gyro? Oh yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. Ah, perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamp and his tenants' movements. Oh, you mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms. Well, what do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps? Oh dear, no. It's nothing to do with you, Natsume-san. Please forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking behind my back as well. About me behind my back as well. What's important is that Mr. Shamspeare isn't in fact dead at all. Dead at all. Once he's come around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Oh yes, please. I do hope you're right.
Excuse me? I knew it was him.
Inspector Gregson.
I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news.
Oh,
Which do you want first?
do people really...
Which do you want first?
Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle.
Alright, well, in that case, the good news it is.
Wait, what? No!
Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way.
Well, then why did you ask me my preference?
As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, was just unconscious. He's come round now.
Why? Wait, don't they even check if someone is dead before arresting people? Ah yes, we saw it happen, in all its terrifying glory.
He's still being treated by the doctors, but we managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume? Oh, thank goodness, it's all over then. I can leave this somber cell.
Oh, sorry, no. That's not on the cards.
What? Why ever not, Inspector?
Mr. Shamspeare has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night.
Implicated someone? Oh dear. You don't mean...
I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. By sweet poison did he seek this and my life. That wicked caitiff, Soseki Natsume.
No.
So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. Preparations?
No. Oh damn. And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dog in the Old Bailey. Did you do that just because of the Juliet and Romeo? Romeo and Juliet argument they had? It's weird. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would present him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. Oh my god, this man is so unlucky. To be continued. And that's where we'll stop. Wow. Come on, Natsumi-san. Why? Why? Why does this always happen? That's incredible. I can't believe it. Anyway, we're pretty sure he hasn't done it. We kind of know how the guy took the poison. But we don't know who the dude looking through the window was. It's kind of weird. They both said, I mean, Naruhodo-san and Susato-san both said they knew the man, but I don't remember him at all. So that's weird. Anyway, we're gonna continue that. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, probably tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for being here. As usual, please take care and stay safe. You know, especially during those times. These times, very demanding times. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.